Hi, I'm Medicine Woman Brenda Bates, and I'm here today to talk about two states of mind. We have the spiritual mindset and the ego mindset. The spiritual mindset is that a part what you use and you learn to find out what it is through your awakening. It is a place of non-judgment. It is complete discernment, complete respect. So if you were to look at your neighbor and your neighbor is doing something you wouldn't do, you would say, there's one way to do it, because it is perception, something that you chose not to take part in, but you also respect that it was developed. Maybe you wish you wouldn't have had it developed, but the point is you didn't choose this for your path, they did. And it's something that is the potential of everything. I have learned that I have a true identity and I have a false identity. We live in a world of polarity. And it's very important to understand that when you're here, living in this form, you have to follow the laws of the universe. And we'll talk about all those things later. But right now, let's focus on what do we perceive? Perception is a wonderful definition and a tool to help in your spirituality. I would explain more about perception later, and it needs a different segment all by itself. But as a child, you come into this world, and one of the things you do is you reach out and find something that completes you. Why did you choose this object, not that, or that, or that, this object? So you find something that completes you. And this is fine until all of a sudden, the thing that completed you ended up being somebody else's. And so then that gets to be taken away. As that occurs, what are you going to do? Most children will have a tantrum because it is like change, it is death, it is loss. They don't know they're not going to get it back, or they don't know that they are going to get it back. They don't know the reasons that it belongs to somebody else. They just know that it completed them, and now you've taken it away. The pain, the feeling, the sense of loss, it sets in. Now, some kids are prone to get over things easily, and then some are in their minds going, recorded it, and it can be very detrimental. It doesn't have to be a tragedy for it to mark your life, for the rest of your life to play itself out, which we'll talk more about later. But as far as identity, what you associate with and you have a relationship with, meaning, I like that, it's important to me, something that triggers your sensory system, whether you don't like it or you like it, it's part of your identity, because you can use it to explain yourself. You can use it in your story. You allow yourself to live your life through what you have relationships with. But when it comes to identity, you're not your house. You're not your kids. You're not your husband. You're not your roles or your functions that you have and you choose in this life. They are not the have-tos, which we'll explain later. But they are choices. And we forget that we have a choice. Our number one thing that we can do is choose. And most people get so stuck inside the story, so deep into it, they believe there is no way out. Well, there is. There's many ways out. And there are things that we can do that can help you in an instant, instead of waiting years or never to resolve it. This whole path from this point on, leading up to 2012 and beyond, is about resolving to evolve. It's important to understand that we are no longer here just to deal with life. We're here to heal life. We've experienced all that we needed to in the shadow. We are now remembering who we are, and so as we walk through that muck, we are able to let go and detach things that no longer serve us. And I'm not talking about doing it the ego way, where you allow yourself to just go, oh, I ignore that, oh, that didn't exist, or push it aside and give yourself 1,000 affirmations and still have that same feeling that sets inside of you, and you know it's still there. So we use tests, we use scales, and if you put your story on a scale from 0 to 10 to mean, oh yeah, I totally believe it, then you're still hooked. And if you say, well, there's no number, but if I asked you a color and you says it's red, you're still hooked. You take 2 pictures with your eyes, 2 pictures with your nose, 2 pictures with your feelings, 2 pictures with your ears. You take 2 pictures with your sensory system, 2 pictures with your right brain and your left brain. You take pictures with everything. So when you think you have just recorded one perception to this one experience, you haven't. You experience so much more. And sometimes one sensory system is hooked more than the other. And there are ways that are easy and simple that you get to choose and say, wait a minute, I don't have to be hooked into that. And you can literally learn how to feel it, sense it, and pull it out. You can detach it. This is a fun journey. And I hope you stay with me, because if you mark yourself right now and you actually are able to take the learnings that I have, and then you come in and we've had sessions, or we're able to do sessions on the phone, you're going to be able to look back and say, oh my gosh, look how much I've grown. Because that's part of your achievement, is seeing how much you allow yourself to live. Allow yourself to let go of things that no longer serve you. It's getting back to that true spirituality, which is your spirit, which is who you are, which is God. You have your true spirituality, and you are spirit, and you just have a soul that records, but you are spirit. So, stay blessed.